Hi again, this is Kate from Pressly, and today I want to talk to you a bit about press kits. So, a while ago, maybe 70 years or so, press kits were a physical thing. It would be a folder that you would hand to someone who is looking to tell a story about your story, and it would include all the sort of supplementary information they might need. So, that would have been fact sheets, boilerplates, physical photographs they could use, things like that. These days, a press kit or a media kit is the same thing, except it's all online, it's all digital. So the sort of media you get in that can be anything from TikToks embedded inside your media kit, or galleries of downloadable photos, video, anything like that. If you do have an online newsroom as well, often you'd find these days that the online newsroom can act as a press kit all by itself because it has all those things incorporated within it. So I'm just going to show you one of our clients' newsrooms and go through it a little bit to show you how it can act as a press kit without you having to make an individual press kit with all those things inside for every single release you make. So this is the newsroom of Mammut. They're just using one of Presley's standard newsroom layouts. And you can already see that if you scroll down to the bottom of any page on the newsroom, you have the foot area, which will have the boilerplate and the basic contact details, social media links, everything, all the like standard details about the company itself. You can also have straight away, and this will be different for the different press releases that they have published, but they'll have different contact cards showing people who they can get in touch with if they need additional media assets. As well as that, if you're looking for things like photographs, they have uploaded those in a separate media gallery. So here they have, and this is something you should probably have in your press kit anyway, lots of logo variants. So I imagine there'll be things like light and dark variants people can use depending on if they want to print their logo on a dark or a light background, or if they want to print it versus using it digitally, that sort of thing. And they've also created separate galleries for different stories. So here, for example, you can see that you can download the entire gallery. If I was a journalist coming here to cover this story, I can download the whole thing and just choose which images to use later, or I can go through and pick a specific one that I want to use. If I click on them, I can download them in full quality, and there's some attribution or caption information there that I can use as well. It's also worth noting that they do have multiple languages enabled for their newsroom, which means that even if I switch to another language, I'll still be able to find those media assets, but maybe they'll be tweaked for localization purposes. As well as just having those elements inside your newsroom, you can also have, let's look at one of these stories here. Let's look at this one. This is a press release they would have published. You can also embed specific media, multimedia into the press release itself if it's super relevant to that story. So for example, here they have this beautiful, huge image that people can use when they're covering this story. At the same time, they've included a link to the full video. They could have just embedded the video here as well, but I'm guessing they want people to go to another page here. And they also have this gallery where, again, whoever is telling a story about this story, they can choose what images to use. This is the PR contact that they would prefer you to contact, and if you wanted to download the press release as a PDF, you can. So all the things that a journalist could need, they're already there. What's also nice about this approach where you have your whole newsroom working as a press kit is that if you were to, for example, send these images in an email to a journalist for them to cover your story, if any of those images change, so for example, maybe you underwent a rebrand and suddenly the logos are different, you would have to normally email everyone who has that logo and say, hey, here's the new one, please don't use the old one anymore. But if you have a newsroom, all of that becomes a lot easier because what you would need to do is to just come here and replace the current images with whatever the new image is. And then anyone who visits your newsroom in the future will immediately see the new stuff and not the old stuff. So yeah, it just makes things a lot easier. And of course, if you want to share any of these things, you would just take the URL, put it into whatever you want to use to contact your journalist friends. So you can stick it into a campaign or a pitch, anything like that, social media even. Um, and you can see each one of these will have a unique URL, and you can just take it and reuse that wherever you want. That will always be current. So it just becomes really, really easy to share all of your assets. So I hope that has helped give you an idea of how you can use your newsroom as a media kit. And yeah, until next time, bye.